Let me ask you a question. When was the last time that you felt genuinely excited about something that you were working on? Like so excited that you lost track of time. So energized that you couldn't fall asleep because your mind was racing and racing with ideas. For most people, we can't remember. Welcome back, y'all. Today I want to talk about something that I believe is absolutely critical for people in their 20s and 30s, which is why you need a side project. Not just want, but need. And here's the truth that a lot of people avoid. Most of us spend a majority of our waking hours working towards someone else's dreams. We're helping our boss hit their targets, our CEO execute on their vision, build our company's products. And look, there's nothing inherently wrong with this. That's how the world works. You trade your time and skills for a paycheck. Pretty fair exchange. But here's what happens over time. You get into this routine, wake up, go to work, do your tasks, come home, watch Netflix, go to bed, repeat. Week after week, month after month, year after year. And somewhere along the way, without even noticing it, you stop dreaming about what you want to create. You stop thinking about your own ideas. You settle into this comfortable rhythm of executing someone else's vision, and your spark starts to fade. Think about it. When you think back on an average week at work, can you remember what you did at Tuesday on 2 p.m.? Probably not, because most of it blends together. It's just tasks, things you do, boxes you check. And I'm not saying that these aren't important or that you shouldn't care about your job, but here's the problem. When all of your creative energy, all of your effort, all of your best thoughts are going into building someone else's dreams, what's left for yours? That is why so many people feel stuck today. They feel uninspired, like they're just floating through life, waiting for something to happen to them instead of making things happen themselves. You spend time passively executing other people's plans. You don't spend time seizing life by the handlebars and creating what you want out of it. And the really scary part is it's so easy to convince yourself that's just how life is. That once you graduate college, you don't have time for your own projects. That you're too tired after work. That you'll get to your dreams someday when you have more time, more money, more experience. But here's what I've learned in my short journey so far. Someday never comes unless you make it appear. The people who end up living lives that they're proud of, who are energized and fulfilled, who actually accomplish their dreams, they don't wait for permission. They don't wait until their schedule magically cleans up. They carve out time for their own projects alongside their job and other responsibilities. And that's what a side project is. It's your declaration of refusing to give up on your own dreams because of your job responsibilities. So what does this actually look like? What is a side project, and why do I believe it is so powerful? A side project is anything that you choose to work on. Something that gives you energy, passion, purpose, something that's entirely yours. It doesn't have to make you money. It doesn't have to be your future career. It doesn't even have to be productive in the traditional sense. It just has to be something that lights you up. Maybe it's starting a YouTube channel. Maybe it's writing. Maybe it's painting, making music, starting a small business, mentoring others. Whatever it is, the key is that nobody is making you do it. You're choosing to do it because you want to. Here's what I've noticed in my own life. The nights I spend working on my side projects, these are the nights I remember. These are the nights I feel most alive. I remember staying up 2 hours past my lights out time, filming and editing a video after a long day at work. And if you know me, you know how important it is for me to go to bed on time. But I didn't even feel tired because I was so into it. I remember training back from Virginia, visiting my family, and it flew by because I was writing about investing in real estate and I just couldn't stop. I remember working on code for my website up until midnight and just feeling this incredible sense of creative freedom and power because I had control over what I was building. And those moments, that's the energy I'm talking about. That bolt of electricity you feel when you're working on your dream, not someone else's. When you're creating something that wouldn't exist without it. And the best part is that energy doesn't just stay contained in your side project, it bleeds into everything else in your life. When I'm working on side projects that I'm passionate about, I show up at my day job with more energy. I'm a better friend, better son, a better partner, because I feel more alive. I'm more creative, I'm more confident, I'm more engaged, I'm just more energized. Why? because I'm not passively going through life anymore. I'm actively building something, and I'm proving to myself every day that I'm capable of creating, of learning, and of growing. The side project keeps your dream alive. It keeps you sharp. It reminds you that you're more than just your job title or your familial responsibilities, that you're more than other people's expectations. And yes, sometimes over time, something else happens. These side projects start opening doors. You develop new skills. You meet people who introduce you to cool opportunities. You might even create income streams. But I'm a big believer that success and income follows passion and energy. When you're genuinely excited about something, when you're pouring your heart into it, people notice. The universe notices. Opportunities appear. But that's not the key. That's not the focus when you start. You don't start a side project to make money or advance your career. You start because you need it, because your soul needs it. The career benefits or the money, those are just happy side effects of pursuing something that gives you energy, because then that energy spills over. Now, I know what probably some of you are thinking. I don't have time for a side project. I'm exhausted after work. I barely have time for the things I already do. I get it. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say it's easy. Sometimes when I get back home and I see the computer on my desk, this little voice in my brain tells me, just push, just relax, wait till tomorrow. But I don't, because I want to live my life, not just exist. It takes discipline. It requires you to sacrifice comfort, downtime. But here's what I want you to understand. You have more control over your life than you think. Right now, you might not have complete control over your schedule. You can't just quit your job tomorrow and pursue your passions full time. That's the reality for most of us, including myself. But you can control what you do with your free time, your nights, your weekends. You can choose to spend 1 hour or two, a few times a week, working on something that's entirely yours. You can seize life by the handlebars in small ways. Side projects don't require huge time commitments. It can be an hour here, 30 minutes there. It adds up, and that consistency matters more than the actual duration when you first start. The goal isn't to achieve complete control over your schedule overnight. The goal is to start, to plant the seed, to start getting energy and start controlling what you do with your free time. Because once you feel that energy, it becomes addictive in the best possible way. It becomes hard to give up those nights working on your side project because that energy you feel is just infatuating. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to reflect on what brings you energy. What makes you lose track of time? What could you talk about for hours? What did you love doing as a kid before life got in the way? What ideas keep popping in your head that you keep pushing away because you don't have time? That's your side project. That's your thing. Maybe you already know what it is. Maybe you've been thinking about it for years. Maybe it just popped in your head. But just start doing. There's no amount of time that's going to tell you it's ready. There's no qualifications. Just start. It doesn't need to make you money right away. It doesn't need to make you money ever. That's not the point. It just needs to get you excited. It needs to bring you energy, and that energy will help you start living life actively. If it lights you up, then do it. Start small, commit to working 30 minutes a week, maybe an hour. I know you can find an hour. I know you can find 30 minutes. And then just pay attention to how you feel during, before, after. And I'm going to guess that you're going to feel very excited, very, very energized, and you're actually probably going to end up spending more time on it than you first planned, because you're going to feel more you. Because here's the truth. You can't get to the end of your life realizing you lived it for other people. You need something that's yours, something you're choosing to create, not because someone else is telling you to, but because it matters to you. That's what separates people who feel alive from people who feel like they're just going through the motions. So start your side project today. Not someday, not tomorrow, not next year, today. Reclaim some of your time. Reclaim some of your energy. And most importantly, reclaim some of your dreams. That's all I got for today, guys. I'm really passionate about this. I think it's really, really important to find things that give you energy And it's funny. I wish a camera was recording me sometimes when I'm just going about my day, because I'll get this sudden burst of energy and I literally start jumping around or whatever it may be. And that jolt of energy I get sometimes is just due to me being excited to come home and record this video right now. And it's really incredible, the amount of growth I've seen myself because of the growth I put into the side projects. But give a like, leave a comment on what side project you're thinking about. I would love to connect and talk about it, and we can kind of help each other in our own journeys. But thank you for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.